Let's talk about frustration. We all feel it, but what if we've been looking at it completely backwards? What if it's not some random annoying flaw, but an actual feature, a built-in signal from our own internal operating system? Well, today, we're going to open up the user manual. You know that feeling, right? You're upset, sure, but inside that big, cloudy emotion, there's something else going on. Something sharp, something tense, something kinda spiky. It's a very specific kind of feeling, and just noticing that it's different is the first step to really understanding it. So let's break that down. Think of being upset as just a big, foggy, emotional cloud hanging over you. But frustration? Oh, that's the lightning inside the cloud. It's that sharp, spiky energy that makes you want to ball up your fists, you know? It's way more specific, and it always has a very specific cause. Which brings us to the big question. What is that spiky feeling actually trying to tell you? Because it's not just random noise. It's an alert, an error message from your brain that has a really direct message for you. Our job is just to learn how to read it. Right, so this is where we really shift our perspective. Frustration isn't a sign that you're failing. It's just your internal system sending you an alert, an error message, telling you that something isn't working as expected. So let's get technical for a second. The definition is basically the feeling you get when you feel powerless, stuck, or stopped from getting something you want. Now, the keywords there are powerless and prevented. This emotion only shows up when you're trying to get from point A to point B and something gets in your way. And this is it. This is the whole key right here. Every single time you feel that spiky, hot emotion, it is pointing to one and only one thing: a blocked goal. That's the secret code decoded. Something you wanted to happen didn't happen. It's as simple as that. All right, so if frustration is the error message, what are the most common bugs in the system? Let's dig into the source code and find the 4 big ones that usually trigger this alert. First up, and this one is a classic, unmet expectations. We've all been there, right? Your goal is clear. Leave the office at 5 p.m. on the dot. And then, bam, a last-minute problem lands on your desk. Your path to freedom is blocked. That spiky feeling? That's the error message screaming, alert, reality does not match the plan. Then you've got block number 2, loss of control. And the perfect example is the traffic jam. Your goal is to move forward, but you are literally physically stuck. You have zero agency, zero power to make the cars move. That feeling of just complete helplessness, that is pure uncut frustration. Block number 3 is a tough one, feeling unheard. You're in a conversation, maybe an argument, and your goal is to connect, to be understood. But it feels like you're talking to a brick wall. Your words just aren't landing. Well, your goal of being understood is totally blocked, and man, does that frustration spike. And finally, maybe the trickiest one of all, internal conflict. This is when the block isn't something out there, it's inside you. Your goal is to have that difficult conversation you know you need to have, but another part of you, the part that's afraid, is holding you back. You're stuck in a tug of war with yourself, and that feeling of being frustrated at yourself, it's a killer. Okay, so we know what causes the error message. Now, what do you actually do when it's flashing red, right in the moment? This is your 5-step reboot. Think of it like a Control-Alt-Delete for your emotions to get your system back online. Here's the sequence. It's super simple. First, you just pause, breathe, get your body out of fight or flight. Second, name the block. This one's huge. Third, acknowledge the feeling. It's okay to feel it. Fourth, change your physical state. Literally, get up and move. And finally, number 5, shrink the problem. But I want to zoom in on step 2 for a second, name the block, because this is the absolute game changer. Simply asking yourself that one question, what is the goal that is being blocked right now? It transforms everything. It takes this vague, hot, overwhelming rage and turns it into a specific, concrete problem. It's no longer just, arg. It's, okay, my goal is to leave, but this email is blocking me. See? Now it's a problem you can actually solve. And that leads perfectly into step 5, shrink the problem. Let's go back to our old friend, the traffic jam. You got to draw 2 columns in your head, what I can't control and what I can control. You can't control the cars, the other drivers, or when you get home, so just let that column go. But you can control the podcast you listen to. You can control your breathing. Shifting your focus to the can control list, that's how you take your power back. Now, those in-the-moment resets are great, but what about the long game? How do we stop our system from crashing so often in the first place? Well, that's where we get into the long-term system improvements, upgrading your resilience. This is all about building better habits over time. You start noticing your personal triggers. You start asking, are my expectations of the world a little unrealistic sometimes? You practice shifting from this is a disaster to this is a puzzle, and you work on getting better at communicating your needs clearly before a goal gets blocked. And honestly, this reframe is everything. When you hit a roadblock, the default reaction is to see it as a catastrophe. The long-term upgrade is training your brain to see it as just a problem to be solved. Okay, plan A is blocked. What's plan B? That simple shift makes you the creative director of the solution, not the victim of the problem. And this really all boils down to a piece of timeless wisdom. You don't have to be religious to see the powerful logic here. It's about sorting all your problems into two baskets, things you can change and things you can't. The real wisdom is just getting good at knowing which basket to put stuff in, and then focusing all your energy on the one you can actually do something about. So after all that, what's the one thing you should walk away with? It's all about a complete shift in how you see this powerful emotion. Here's the bottom line. Your frustration is not your enemy. It's not a flaw you need to be ashamed of. It is simply a signal, a dashboard light, telling you that a goal has been blocked. Your only job is to calmly read the signal and figure out what it's pointing to. So next time you feel that spiky, hot emotion rising up, here's your new mantra. Don't fight the feeling. That just makes it worse. Instead, get curious. Use it as a clue. Just ask yourself, okay, what goal just got blocked? And in that simple question, you will find all the power you need to take back control.